You can watch SeemsGoodMagic.com team members live stream at www.twitch.tv/Inez27. If you enjoy our videos, you can support us by going to SeemsGoodMagic.com, clicking on eBay store, and purchasing some singles or playsets. Thanks and enjoy. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here for another 8-4 Gatecrash draft. We got Gruul Rage Beast. This guy's actually kind of cool. 7-drop, 6/6, and whenever you play another creature, it has to fight. So it's actually kind of a disadvantage because you don't get to control it. So I don't know if I actually want him. He doesn't have evasion either, so he's just 7-drop, 6/6. His ability is strong. I mean, if you have the right creature base to support it. But it also is state dependent, you know, like on what your opponents have. So I don't know if I want to first pick it. I think I'd rather have the Homing Lightning. There's also a Guild Mage, which is very good. The Lightning leaves me a little more open to both Boros and Gruul. And I don't even think this necessarily passes a Gruul signal, because I don't think he's like a snap pick by any means. He's cool and he's good, but not a snap pick. I think we just want the Homing Lightning. This card's super strong. You can just like annihilate your opponent's entire creature state, you know. It's a worthy 4-drop spell there. Okay, so now we can take the Legionnaire, which is a really strong Boros spell. There's also Madcap skills, but I think Legionnaire is just better. Urbis Protector is an awesome uncommon. Not a ton else in here that's insanely good. The Green Denizen is good. Like I said, the Protector is good. Madcap skills. Thunderfist is fine. Screecher is good. Spy. So there's pretty much for all the guilds, there's good stuff in here. I think we'll just stick with the Legionnaire, who I'm always happy to see. Okay. So now we can do, I think it's probably just Shanktail. This guy's really cool. He's a good trick. He's also a 3/1 first strike, both of which are good. Worthy 4-drop. There's also a Guildgate in here, which I wouldn't mind grabbing, but yeah, I'm fine with the Shanktail here. He is good. All right, sweet. So we're gonna take the more aggressive guy over the Urbis Protector. Urbis Protector, like I said, very good, but I would rather just have the 2-drop. And not a whole lot else for us there, but alright. I kind of like Righteous Charge quite a bit. It's like a little mini Boros overrun. And if you get enough Legionnaires to support it, it can be really bonkers. So I'll take the, yeah, we'll take Righteous Charge. Perfectly okay with that. Here we just take the Bomber Core. I don't really like this card all that much. I found it to be, I don't know, not as good as you want it to be a lot of the time, but it is fine, and I guess it's good with Righteous Charge. And if you get Surprise Battalion online with Sky Knight Legionnaire, you can randomly kill some X1s, so it's okay. It's just not a very impressive 2-drop. Ember Beast, on the other hand, I've been liking quite a bit. I like the fact that you can drop it on an empty board and then surprise out with your Legionnaire, so you get in with it. It also randomly works well with cards like Pit Fight and stuff like that, where it just doesn't have to attack or block, but it can still fight. But I like Ember Beast. He's a good creature. If you have enough 2-drops especially, it's some good pressure there. Alright, it looks like we dried up a little bit. I could take the Beckon Apparition, but I think I'm actually going to take the Krakenura. This is the most annoying card for Boros to deal with that I've found so far. It's just super annoying. Really, I've had just so many problems with this card when I'm playing Boros against Simic. So I'm gonna take this. I know you shouldn't hate this early, but I'm like never hard up to see a Beckon Apparition, and Krakenura is really just that annoying. Alright. Pretty easily Skinbrand Goblin here. Good 2-drop. Also a combat trick. Perfectly legit. Okay, here we can do the Commando, we can do the Thunder Fist. What do I like more? It's a legitimate question. I think I actually like the Commando more. I mean, this doesn't require that you have Battalion, but the 5 toughness on this is really nice. You don't have to pay for the vigilance or whatever. I mean, it's not necessarily vigilant, I guess, but I think I actually do like the commando more because I feel like I'm gonna have battalion a lot of the time. I'm not actually sure on which one of those is better. Maybe that one is better because it doesn't require you to have the other creatures. So I'm not 100%. I don't really like this card much at all, but I'm gonna take it anyway. Possibly play it if we're short on playables. I mean, I guess it's fine alongside Righteous Charge. I've yet to play the 10th Street Market. I don't think it's that good. A little bit too expensive. It's not really what a Boros deck wants to be doing anyway. Alright, see what we get out of pack 2 here. Alright, well, we opened Alms Beast, who is very good, but we're not going to be able to play him. And I don't think I mean, he's fine on the splash, but I don't really like him that much on the splash. The whole point of this card is you want to play him right on turn 4, because that's when he's, the most dangerous. But if I'm splashing for him, there's not a very good chance I'm playing him on turn 4. So I think I'd be more interested in the Ember Beast over the Key Rune. The Boros Key Rune's a little bit lackluster. It's cool that it's got double strike, but it's kind of hard to abuse it. You can abuse it with stuff like the Blood Rush creatures. So there is that. But I think I actually want the Ember Beast over the Massive Raid too. I don't mind getting a few Ember Beasts. They're strong enough, especially in multiples. So not the most exciting first pick. I will be the first to admit, but that's okay. All right, here. Oh, wow. So now it's actually a choice here. Do we want the Guild Mage or do we want the Legionnaire? And that's actually a legitimate question. I'm not sure. This is cheaper. It's got some that effect is really strong. Why do they have to be in the same pack? There's also Warmine Infantry and Skinbrand Goblins. Just all sorts of cards, and even the Denizen's fine. All sorts of cards that we want. I think we want the Legionnaire, but God, the Guild Mage? Like, you usually always pick the Guild Mage over, the other creatures in the guild, but I don't know, something about this Legionnaire, it's just so good. Especially in multiples, if you can just get enough of these things. Wow, we pass another sick or tough card. I think it's because it's got the evasion is why I like it. The haste, I mean, this is definitely abusable. It's a mana sink with all the mana, you can do. I just want to get as many Legionnaires as I can. I think I am taking the Guild Mage. It's one cheap. That was really tough for me because they're both so good, and I want as many Legionnaires as I can get. But the Guild Mage, the first ability is totally relevant, and it's cheaper, so I guess it makes sense. All right, easily taking the Halberdier here. You can always load up and just get 1,000 of these and always be happy. I actually have been really impressed with Mark for Death, and since I don't really like Bomber Corps all that much, I think I am going to take the Mark for Death. This is really cool because it lets you just build your army, and then if you just can't get in anymore, like against Simic, this is a total blowout card because it lets you just choose one creature that they can block with, and then all the rest of your guys get through. I don't know. I've had some success with this card. I think it's good enough. It's bad in the mirror match, admittedly. It's good against Simic, though, and it's good against other decks that have good defenders. It's pretty much best against Simic, which is like this weakest match, in my opinion. So I kind of like it. I like the Fortress Cyclops. I think I'd rather have another Skinbrand Goblin, though. Load up on my 2-drops. Fortress Cyclops is good, though, but I want to keep it cheap. Keep this deck cheap. Alright, easily taken Martial Glory. It's a good trick. Okay, Scorchwalker, pretty legit. Ripscale Predator is pretty good as well, but I think we want the Scorchwalker. It's got some random synergies with like Gift of Ordzova, that uncommon if we see it. Turns it into a 6/2 lifelink flyer. It also is just good on evasive guys or just, guys that get through. It's an additional 5 damage. I think it definitely shines in Boros, even though it's a Gruul card. I guess we can take the Beacon Apparition now. It is a surprise blocker or whatever. Alright, we can take the Night Watch or the Key Rune. I like Night Watch for setting up your battalions. It's also randomly good with Court Street Denizen. Key Rune, though, I feel like I probably want... It's uncommon. Helps mana sometimes. We'll take the Key Rune. It also is an attacker. Works with Guildmage, but I guess that's quite a bit of mana that you'd have to have. Let's see, you'd have to have... maybe it's just 5 mana in the Key Rune. So, still kind of expensive, but cool nonetheless. Alright, I don't like the Skullcrack very much, so I think we'll just take another Skinbrand Goblin. And this is nice because we're getting our creature count up early, so then we can start valuing like tricks more as we get enough creatures. We probably only need maybe 2 or 3 more creatures in this deck before I think it's pretty well perfect. Alright, let's take the Burst of Strength. That can be annoying. Don't really care about any of these. I guess we'll take the creature. And whatever, Voidwalk, I guess. So we could use a little more removal. What have we got so far? We got the Trick, we've got a Homing Lightning. That's about it. So we could use some Mugging or something else. Alright, well, I would have liked to have taken the Sunhome Guildmage, the Guardian of the Gateless, Syndic of Tides. I think I have to take Opposite out, though. He's worth some ticks, I'm sure. Can't really splash for him, either. I better check the price on him. I'm sure he's worth some ticks, though. He's worth a small fortune. He's like... People are buying him at 10, and they're selling him at like 13 or 14 or something. This guy's worth a fortune. But Guardian of the Gateless is just nuts. I think I'd actually take that over the Guildmage just because, I don't know, this guy like locks down a board. He's crazy. Syndic of Tides would be great in here too. Tons of good picks. We got to take the card worth just 1,000,000 tickets. Wow. Wow. Well, we can take the Skyjack. The Guardian, like I said, is so strong though. This is a really good place to top out at. I mean, you never really want to be defensive. I could just take the Skyjack, just play all the 2-drops in the world, and just win with Mark for Death. Gift of Orzhova is so strong, too. I need to figure out where I want to... I mean, Pit Fight is going to be awesome in this deck, too, with the 2 Ember Beasts. I guess Pit Fight's not as good as I'd like it to be, because we pretty much only have the Ember Beast and the Nav Squad Commando to really fight with. So what I want, the Skyjack or the better card in Guardian of the Gateless? I think there's enough upside to Guardian where I want it, even though it's a 5-drop. It's a good place to top out at, I'll tell you that much. It really makes it so they can't crack back easily. It's evasive. Daring Skyjack is so good, though. Loading up on the cheap creatures is insane. Ugh, tough. Guardian's so good, though. Guardian is so good. You could take the Legion Loyalist. Getting the Trample and the First Strike is actually pretty relevant. I wouldn't mind the Act of Treason. I think because he's totally playable in here, I want him. He turns on Battalion randomly. I mean, I guess he doesn't interact ridiculously with him. He gives him Trample. I guess creature tokens can't block. It's relevant. I wouldn't mind the Massive Raid, but this is a good 1-drop creature to have. Much better upgrade to the Denizen for sure. It randomly does some cool stuff. Alright. Alright, we're going to take the Legionnaire over the Madcap skills, I think. I do like the Madcap skills quite a bit, but Legionnaire is just so important for this deck. You just want to just get infinite Legionnaires. Pit Fight once again. Kind of annoying that we're passing it, but... And the Madcap skills. Just good cards in here in general, but we want that Legionnaire. Alright. Usually, I mean, Molten Primordial is fine, but This deck we're going to keep cheap, so we're just going to take the Act of Treason, which is hopefully just going to annihilate people. We're not going to play the Basilica Guards, not going to play the Tiger. I think we just hate the Aetherize, which can be good against us because we have a ton of little creatures. Could take the Burning Tree Emissary, but I don't really like it that much in here. We can do like a turn 2 Emissary Goblin, but it's not even that good. I think I'd rather have the Scorchwalker. Alright, Martial Glory versus a second Act of Treason. I think we probably want the second Act of Treason. That really just takes games over. Martial Glory is very good, but Act of Treason, doubling up on that can be insane. Alright, Shattering Blow for the sideboard. Alright, we gotta make some cuts. So why don't we cut the Denizen, probably cut the Beckon Apparition, and maybe cut the Commandos. Is there any other weak creature? We probably don't need the Key Rune anymore. I don't mind main decking Mark for Death. I think that's actually legitimate based on what we've got. Just because we got so many creatures, cheap creatures. I just want something that's like, okay, all my guys get through. Denizen, what do we got for white creatures? Let's see, count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? It's not that much, actually. Do I want the Thunder Fist? Probably not. We're good on 5 drops. Do I want another Skinbrand Goblin? Question is, am I playing it? Possibly. I mean, they are always a trick. We'll take it for now. I was running low on time. Night Watch, probably not necessary, but certainly playable. I don't think we're going to play it in here, though. None of these really matter. Whatever. Okay, so I kind of have to decide what I am playing, what I'm not playing, what I want my strengths to be against. I think I'm not playing the Key Rune. I don't think it's necessary. We're probably not main decking the Commando. So we just top out at Guardian of the Gateless. Still have tons of creatures, good tricks. 4 Skinbrand Goblins. I mean, it's not great, but they're perfectly fine. I just like having consistent 2-drop into 3-drop. I always want my Ember Beasts to be online. They're a combat trick. I feel like I'm going to be attacking most of the time, so using them as a combat trick is totally a legitimate thing. Especially when you just want your Halberdiers to always be striking in. So, yeah. This deck turned out pretty good. Righteous Charge is going to be good with all the creatures we got. We've got some excellent Blood Rush. I think this is a 23 looks legitimate to me. We're going to totally main deck that Mark for Death. I guess I could cut the Bomber Core for a better creature, but we probably have it online most of the time. Glad we got Obsidian. That's cool. That's going to pay for this draft at least. So that's our 23, right? Yeah. All right, let's take a look. 17 creatures. Why don't we separate our tricks? Let's take a look at how we're doing here. Tricks and other spells, that is. Okay. So these are our creatures. These are our tricks. Our removal's a little bit... We're a little removal light, but that's really where Mark for Death's going to shine, I think. When you're removal light, this card's like, okay, all my guys get through. Because then you can just be like, okay, I can't attack in, but I'm just going to build my army. Okay, now I have Mark for Death, so I'm ready to just kill you. So I like that. It really sets you up for a nice alpha strike. Do I want to run something over this Bomber Core? A little bit, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure I can. I could put in another 5-drop like the Night Watch. Just get some more creatures. Could put in the Commando. Another 5-drop to top out at. I really don't mind Commando. I think it's fine. So I could run that over Bomber Core. That's going to take us to, what, 7 2-drop creatures? Like, I could sideboard into Bomber Core. If they have a lot of X1s, it can be good. I mean, there are plenty of X1s in this format, I guess, so maybe I should main deck it, but if I'm running 17 lands, I want to have a couple things I'm topping out at. I guess with all the tricks I have, Bomber Core's probably fine. He's just not great. That's my problem. I guess I can sideboard into a later card if they don't have X1s. Maybe that should be my plan. I really want to have the consistent 2-drop creature with all these Skinbrand Goblins and Scourge Walkers and just all the Blood Rush and removal and stuff we've got. Yeah, alright. I guess I'm comfortable with this. This looks pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, let's look at our color. It looks like we're way more red intensive than white, yeah. Which is fine. What do they suggest? 12 and 5? Nah. I think we want to, I mean, we only need like one red. And we do want to hit white on turn 2. So 10-7. 10-7 feels like it's right. That way we're at least going to see our white source. We do need double white for the Righteous Charge, but this card's not played until mid to late game anyway. Alright, yeah, I like the way this looks. I think this is a pretty strong looking deck. So, alright, wish me luck. I'll see you round 1.